before humans sailed the oceans, before science descended into the depths to discover their secrets, an immense blue world already existed where evolution shaped some of the most extraordinary creatures on Earth. In the wild ocean, from tropical reefs to abysses where light never reaches, countless creatures survive thanks to extraordinary adaptations, hiding, hunting, and evolving in the vastest, oldest, and most mysterious ecosystem on the planet. Welcome to Wild Ocean, the most extraordinary creatures hidden under the sea. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to produce more quality content. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the video below and let us know where you're watching from to discuss together. Let's get started. When the first rays of the sun pierce the surface of the ocean, a pod of dolphins emerges to take a breath before starting a new hunting day. It is the bottlenose dolphin, Tursiops truncatus, one of the most intelligent marine mammals on the planet. Their superior learning ability allows them to solve problems, communicate through complex sounds, and cooperate effectively with other members of the group. Thanks to echolocation, they emit sound waves that reveal the position, size, and movement of prey even in low visibility waters. Their hydrodynamic body allows them to reach high speeds and change direction with extraordinary agility. However, they depend on the abundance of fish and frequently compete for food with large sharks and killer whales. They live in closely knit social groups in both coastal waters and the open sea, where cooperation increases their chances of survival. An immense school of sardines appears below the surface as the dolphins begin to surround it from different directions. Little by little, they reduce the available space until the fish are concentrated into an extremely compact mass. Once the concentration is formed, the dolphins take turns to feed without breaking the group's coordination. Every movement is perfectly synchronized to prevent the sardines from finding an escape route. In a few minutes, most of the school has been captured thanks to the joint work of the entire pod. This cooperative strategy allows them to reduce energy expenditure and increase the success of each hunt. Collective intelligence turns these marine mammals into some of the most efficient hunters in the oceans. From coastal waters to the open ocean, the bottlenose dolphin proves that true strength depends not only on speed, but also on intelligence, communication, and almost perfect cooperation. Leaving behind the illuminated surface, the journey descends toward the rocky reefs, where a master of camouflage silently observes every movement. It is the giant Pacific octopus, Enteroctopus duflani, one of the most intelligent invertebrates in the ocean. Its extraordinary intelligence allows it to learn, solve problems, and remember routes to safe shelters. Millions of specialized cells allow it to rapidly change color and modify the texture of its skin to blend in with its surroundings. Its 8 powerful arms, covered in suckers, provide strength, precision, and extraordinary control during the hunt. However, its soft body lacks skeletal protection. Its life is relatively short, and it needs to find shelter constantly. It lives solitarily among crevices and caves on the seafloor, where it remains hidden for much of the day. From an opening among the rocks, it detects a crab moving slowly across the bottom. Without making the slightest noise, the octopus begins to slide slowly, using every rock as cover. When the distance is perfect, it suddenly extends its 8 arms, completely enveloping the prey. The suckers immobilize the crab while it tries to free itself without success. Shortly after, the octopus's strong beak quickly pierces the tough shell. The capture ends with a precision that combines intelligence, patience, and an extraordinary capacity for adaptation. Thanks to these abilities, the giant Pacific octopus holds a prominent place among the predators of the seabed. Among the rocks of the Pacific Ocean, this extraordinary invertebrate proves that intelligence, camouflage, and precision can be weapons as effective as brute force in the underwater world. When the octopus retracts into the mineral gloom of the crevices, greyish shadows begin their rhythmic patrol along the edge of the reef. The grey reef shark, known scientifically as Carchahinus amblyrinkos, is the sovereign of agility in coral sanctuaries. Its radiant domain extends through the warm waters of the Indo-Pacific, patrolling the platforms that separate the abyss from the coast. An adult specimen can reach a length of 2 meters and possess a biological mass of 30 kilograms of pure vigor. Its body architecture features a grey coloration on the upper part that makes it invisible to observers from the sky. It possesses a high-resolution olfactory system capable of detecting a source of vital energy at hundreds of meters in the radiant current. Its hydrodynamic physiognomy gives it a tactical advantage for navigating the mineral labyrinths and confined spaces of coral architecture. This majestic inhabitant can reach a rhythmic speed of 40 kilometers per hour to neutralize any biographical distance. Through the ampullae of Lorenzini, it detects the microelectrical pulses of the muscular vigor of its prey hidden in the mineral substrate. Although it prefers the sovereignty of solitude, it often congregates in small tactical units to monitor the biological pulse of the reef. However, the integrity of its lineage faces high fragility due to excessive extraction and the pressure of oceanic modernity. Its biological permanence depends entirely on the radiant health of the reefs, which function as its sanctuary for nutrition and renewal. Upon perceiving an intrusion, it displays a majestic warning posture, arching its structure to project an immovable authority before the environment. As a keystone species, its work ensures the dynamic balance of marine populations and the vitality of the abyss's survival network. The grey shark is the eternal sentinel of the deep blue, a masterpiece of evolution breathing with an invincible elegance under the sun. Upon leaving the reef structure, the horizon expands toward the deep blue, where a monumental figure slides with absolute grace. The giant manta ray, known scientifically as Mobula birostris, is the undisputed sovereign of elegant movement in the open sea. This majestic inhabitant possesses a biographical architecture that evokes the flight of birds, rhythmically challenging the density of the liquid element. A mature specimen can reach a biological mass of 2,000 kilograms, projecting a presence of great authority in the radiant abyss. Its most imposing feature is a sovereign wingspan that reaches 7 meters, allowing it to navigate the currents with inexhaustible vigor. It possesses cephalic fins at the front, specialized structures that direct plankton-rich water toward its mouth. This wonder of evolution is a tireless filter feeder, rhythmically processing millions of microorganisms and plankton in each solar day. It uses its branchial structure as a high-resolution biological sieve, capturing the microscopic vigor of the ocean to sustain its magnitude. It possesses the highest brain mass ratio among all elasmobranch fish, granting it sovereign intelligence and curiosity before the environment. It is a long-distance traveler that rhythmically covers thousands of kilometers, following the seasonal pulse of nutrients in the blue sanctuary. However, its lineage faces high fragility due to a slow biological renewal cycle, rhythmically producing only a single descendant. These giants rhythmically congregate in sanctuaries, known as cleaning stations, to purify their cutaneous architecture before tiny residents. In nutrient upwelling zones, the group organizes a tactical choreography, performing rhythmic turns to concentrate biological energy. As a keystone species, its processing work ensures that the dynamic balance of microscopic populations remains in a healthy state. The giant manta ray is the majestic heartbeat of the deep blue, a gem of evolution navigating with invincible elegance under the sun. As the giant mantas rhythmically retreat toward the horizon, the currents turn frigid and a supreme authority emerges. The great white shark, known scientifically as Carcharodon carcharias, is one of the most formidable predators of the ocean. This majestic inhabitant is the personification of biological vigor, rhythmically patrolling the temperate sanctuaries of the entire planet Earth. Its body is a masterpiece of hydrodynamics, with a robust structure designed to displace effectively through strong currents. An adult specimen can reach a mass of 2,000 kilograms, projecting a presence of great biological authority in the abyss. Its cutaneous architecture presents a radiant camouflage known as countershading, making it invisible to observers from any biographical angle. The most imposing biographical advantage of this strategist resides in a sense of smell of great technical resolution and sovereign reach. It is capable of detecting a single molecule of biological vigor dissolved in 100 liters of seawater from kilometers of mineral distance. Through the ampullae of Lorenzini, it rhythmically maps the electrical fields generated by the vital pulse of the sanctuary's inhabitants. It deploys an explosive acceleration power, allowing it to raise its sovereign structure out of the water at 40 kilometers per hour. Its mandibular impact force is massive, reaching 18,000 newtons to ensure rhythmic success in every biological encounter. However, its lineage faces rhythmic fragility due to a slow renewal cycle and a limited biographical birth rate. It requires patrolling large-scale sanctuaries to maintain its metabolic stability, rhythmically facing the challenge of the scarcity of massive resources. As a keystone species, its regulatory work ensures that the dynamic balance of marine ecosystems remains in a state of superior health. The great white shark is the indomitable heartbeat of the deep blue, a gem of evolution reigning with an invincible elegance. In the shallow waters where the river rhythmically merges with the sea, a figure of absolute serenity emerges, dominating the liquid horizon. The West Indian manatee, known scientifically as Trichechus manatus, is one of the most peaceful inhabitants of coastal ecosystems. This majestic inhabitant prefers the peace of temperate lagoons and radiant estuaries, far from the intensity of the great strategists of the abyss. Its appearance is a masterpiece of herbivorous adaptation, possessing a biological mass that rhythmically reaches 600 kilograms of pure vigor. It possesses an extraordinary digestive system, a biological laboratory capable of processing 50 kilograms of aquatic vegetation in each solar day. Its strategic advantage resides in its sensory whiskers, high-resolution tactile radars that rhythmically detect the quality of submarine flora. It navigates with a sovereign parsimony at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour, maintaining a rhythmic balance with the flow of the tides. It uses its tail in the form of a sovereign oar to rhythmically propel itself through channels, challenging the resistance of the liquid element with elegance. However, its slow navigation represents a tactical fragility before accidental interactions with modern navigation and its radiant motors. The integrity of its lineage rhythmically faces the challenge of a low renewal rate, with a single descendant after long periods of biographical waiting. It inhabits thermal sanctuaries, where the water maintains a temperature above 20 degrees Celsius to preserve its internal stability. As a keystone species of the seagrass meadows, its work ensures that the green architecture of the ocean remains in a state of superior health. By rhythmically pruning the vegetation, the manatee promotes the biological regeneration of the watery prairies that sustain thousands of small inhabitants. The manatee is the gentle heartbeat of the coast, a gem of evolution reigning with sovereign peace in the heart of pure water. As the journey advances toward the crystal sanctuaries of the Arctic Ocean, the horizon is rhythmically populated with colossal figures on the ice. The walrus, known scientifically as Odobenus rosmarus, is the undisputed sovereign of the frozen platforms of the extreme north. This majestic inhabitant possesses a massive body architecture, with a thermal fat layer 15 centimeters thick. An adult male can reach a biological mass of 1,500 kilograms, projecting a presence of great mineral authority. Its most imposing feature is its radiant ivory tusks, biological precision tools that can measure 1 meter in length. These sovereign defenses are used to establish social order and as anchors to rhythmically ascend the sea ice. It possesses hundreds of sensory whiskers on its snout, high-resolution tactile radars to map the deep and dark seabed. It navigates toward the mineral abyss to rhythmically locate the mollusks that process the biological energy of the pure sediment. It uses its powerful oral structure to generate a suction force of great magnitude, securing sustenance with superior mastery. These giants congregate in massive social units, maintaining group thermal stability under the frigid Arctic atmosphere. They communicate through radiant vocalizations and powerful roars that resonate rhythmically across kilometers of pure water. However, the integrity of their lineage depends entirely on the permanence of sea ice as their sovereign resting sanctuary. The rhythmic transformation of the global climate represents the most imposing biographical challenge for the navigation and refugee of the walrus. As a keystone species, its work of churning the mineral substrate ensures the exchange of nutrients and the health of the polar ecosystem. The walrus is the ancient heartbeat of the glaciers, a gem of evolution reigning with invincible elegance against time. Upon moving away from the crystal sanctuaries, the horizon rhythmically opens to receive the most colossal inhabitant of planetary history. The blue whale, known scientifically as Balenoptera musculus, is the absolute sovereign of biological vigor in the deep ocean. This majestic titan reaches a sovereign length of 30 meters, an architecture of flesh and bone that defies human imagination. It possesses a biographical mass of 190,000 kilograms, a physical power that redefines the limits of existence in the blue sanctuary. Its strategic advantage resides in its keratin baleen, precision tools designed to filter the radiant energy of the abyss. It rhythmically processes up to 40 million small crustaceans each day, transforming microscopic vigor into pure internal sustenance. Its heart is a biological motor the size of a small vehicle, rhythmically pumping vitality through its immense structure. It possesses a tongue whose biographical mass is equivalent to that of an adult elephant, demonstrating unparalleled physical magnitude on Earth. It is an inexhaustible navigator that covers thousands of kilometers in rhythmic trajectories from frozen currents to temperate seas. It communicates through low-frequency infrasound that rhythmically travels 1,600 kilometers through the dark and pure abyss. However, its lineage faces rhythmic fragility due to a slow renewal cycle and a low biographical birth rate. The descendants require a massive energy investment, consuming nearly 400 liters of radiant mother's milk each solar day. It acts as the great transport entity for nutrients, rhythmically enriching the upper layers of the ocean with vital nitrogen and iron. The blue whale is the majestic heartbeat of planet Earth, a gem of evolution reigning with invincible elegance under the sun. Preserving their radiant sanctuary is safeguarding the health of the global ocean and the permanence of life in its most extraordinary form. Nevertheless, even the vastness of the ocean possesses a supreme strategist, capable of rhythmically challenging the established order of the waters. The killer whale, known scientifically as Orcanus orca, is the absolute sovereign of biological intelligence in the deep blue sanctuary. This majestic inhabitant is the personification of coordinated power, possessing a robust physiognomy designed for total dominance. A mature individual can reach a sovereign length of 9 meters and possess a biographical mass of 6,000 kilograms of pure vigor. Its strategic advantage resides in a matriarchal social structure, where the wisdom of the leader female guarantees the rhythmic success of the clan. They possess a high-resolution acoustic communication system, using radiant dialects that vary rhythmically between different groups. Through echolocation, they map the architecture of the abyss with millimetric precision, detecting the vital pulse of their targets. The true sovereignty of the orca emanates from its capacity for learning, transmitting rhythmic hunting tactics through generations. The group operates as a massive organic unit, executing coordinated technical maneuvers to rhythmically manage their biological resources. They deploy astonishing navigation power, reaching speeds of 55 kilometers per hour to neutralize distance in the water. Their mandibular impact force is extraordinary, generating a pressure of 15,000 newtons to ensure the exchange of vital energy. However, each lineage faces rhythmic fragility due to its absolute dependence on a specific type of biological sustenance. While some clans rhythmically process salmon, others must locate marine mammals to maintain their metabolic stability and vigor. As a keystone species and apex predator, its work ensures the dynamic balance and health of all global marine ecosystems. The orca is the indomitable heartbeat of the liquid vastness, a masterpiece of evolution reigning with invincible elegance. Following the rhythmic passage of the killer whales, a melody of great acoustic reach resonates in the vastness of the blue sanctuary. The humpback whale, known scientifically as Megaptera novaeanglii, is the absolute sovereign of song and resilience in the ocean. This majestic inhabitant possesses the most extensive pectoral fins in the biosphere, reaching a sovereign length of 5 meters. A mature individual can reach a biographical mass of 30,000 kilograms, projecting a presence of great radiant authority. Its most imposing biological advantage resides in its complex songs, bursts of sonic energy that travel through the marine abyss. The males compose these rhythmic scores to establish social order and biographical cohesion of the clan during the seasons. These acoustic signals can be rhythmically detected by other individuals at a mineral distance of 30 kilometers. Their aerial acrobatics maneuvers are famous, where the giant raises its structure out of the water with invincible elegance. A sovereign leap generates a force of impact of great magnitude, allowing physical communication and the rhythmic elimination of external elements. In zones of abundance, the group deploys the bubble net tactic, a masterpiece of technical cooperation. The individuals rhythmically coordinate the expulsion of air to create a cylinder of bubbles that surrounds the energy source. This sonic and visual barrier rhythmically concentrates schools of fish, ensuring the success of the group biological operation. After establishing the perimeter, the sovereigns rhythmically emerge with their jaws open to integrate oceanic vigor into their system. Each lunge generates a thrust force of thousands of newtons, demonstrating the physical supremacy of these architects of the currents. However, its lineage faces the challenge of an epic migration of 8,000 kilometers between the poles and the warm equator. During this radiant trajectory, adults rhythmically reduce their biological intake, relying on their internal fat reserves. The siege of fatigue tests the biographical resilience of the sea sentinels in every meter of constant navigation. Mothers require safe and quiet water sanctuaries to ensure the biological integrity and development of their descendants. As a keystone species, its work of transporting nutrients ensures the dynamic balance and biographical health of the global ocean. By releasing organic resources at the surface, they rhythmically foster the vitality of phytoplankton, the radiant lung of planet Earth. The humpback whale is the majestic heartbeat of the abyss, a gem of evolution that navigates with invincible elegance. Among the radiant currents of tropical seas, an ancestral figure emerges that guards the legacy of time: the green sea turtle. Known scientifically as Chelonia midas, this majestic creature is the absolute sovereign of oceanic migratory routes. Its appearance is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, possessing a hydrodynamic shell that rhythmically reduces water resistance. An adult specimen of this lineage can reach a mass of 190 kilograms, projecting a presence of great biological authority. Its true sovereignty resides in its rhythmic diet, processing sea grasses and radiant algae to maintain the vigor of its internal system. It acts as the supreme gardener of the abyss, rhythmically pruning the submerged meadows to ensure the health of coastal ecosystems. It possesses limbs transformed into powerful biological oars that give it constant navigation power through the blue horizon. It deploys surprising tactical agility, reaching a speed of 35 kilometers per hour to neutralize any unwanted proximity. To preserve its metabolic stability, it must rhythmically emerge to the surface to capture atmospheric air through its sovereign lungs. Its biographical advantage resides in an internal high-resolution compass, detecting Earth's magnetic fields with millimetric precision. This majestic inhabitant performs epic journeys spanning thousands of kilometers, rhythmically navigating through the liquid deserts of the planet. Driven by a sovereign instinct, it rhythmically returns to the same mineral beach where it began its cycle of existence decades ago. Upon reaching hard land, it must face the challenge of Earth's gravity, moving its biographical mass with a slow and solemn elegance. It uses its fins as precision tools to sculpt a mineral sanctuary in the sand, ensuring the integrity of its future lineage. It deposits nearly 100 biological spheres in the depth of the firm ground, rhythmically entrusting the future of the species to solar heat. The small descendants rhythmically initiate a radiant race toward the blue, neutralizing the risks of the terrain to reach biological maturity. The fragility of these initial stages is extreme, where only the individuals with the greatest vigor guarantee the permanence of their ancestral lineage. Comparatively, its physical resistance exceeds that of many other marine inhabitants, allowing it to be the rhythmic guardian of the oceans. As a keystone species, its presence is the radiant barometer of the health of water sanctuaries and the purity of global currents. The green sea turtle is the ancient heartbeat of the abyss, a masterpiece of evolution reigning with invincible elegance under the sun. In the frigid reaches of the Southern Ocean, a figure emerges that personifies stealth and absolute biological power on the ice. The leopard seal, known scientifically as Hydrerga leptonix, is the undisputed sovereign of the ice platforms at the South Pole. Its appearance stands out for a mottled coat that pays homage to the large terrestrial felines, rhythmically blending with the nival environment. A mature individual can reach a sovereign length of 3 meters 50 centimeters and a mass of 600 kilograms. It possesses a perfect hydrodynamic architecture that allows it to reach a speed of 40 kilometers per hour under the liquid element. Its true sovereignty resides in a jaw of great power, capable of generating an impact force of 3,000 newtons on its objective. This strategist rhythmically patrols the edges of the ice, waiting for the precise moment to intercept penguins and radiant fish. Unlike other inhabitants, it prefers the sovereignty of solitude, rhythmically managing its biological resources without the support of a clan. Its biological permanence depends entirely on the stability of sea ice, its sanctuary for rest and millennial tactical platform. As an apex predator, its work ensures the dynamic balance of the populations flowing in the frigid currents of the radiant south. Its terrifying elegance rhythmically exceeds the defensive capacity of many inhabitants, consolidating it as the radiant guardian of the frozen abyss. The leopard seal is the indomitable heartbeat of Antarctica, a masterpiece of evolution reigning with sovereignty under the frigid sun. In the vast temperate and tropical currents of the globe, a silhouette of surreal geometry emerges that rhythmically dominates the liquid horizon. The ocean sunfish, known scientifically as mola mola, is the absolute sovereign of parsimony and the most massive bony fish on planet Earth. Its body architecture is a masterpiece of evolution, possessing a laterally flattened physiognomy that evokes a giant mineral disk. A mature individual can reach a biological mass of 1,000 kilograms, projecting a presence of great authority in the oceanic sanctuary. It lacks a conventional caudal fin, using its dorsal and anal fins as biological oars to navigate the radiant vastness. This majestic inhabitant performs daring incursions into the abyss, rhythmically descending to depths of 600 meters. In the frigid gloom, its internal vigor is challenged by the low mineral temperature of the ocean's deepest currents. After completing its biographical mission in the depths, the giant ascends to the surface to initiate a rhythmic thermoregulation ceremony. It rhythmically lies on its side, allowing solar radiation to restore its internal Celsius degrees under the tropical firmament. This absorption of radiant energy ensures that its metabolism functions with superior technical precision before the next descent. During its stay on the water surface, small birds and radiant fish purify its cutaneous armor of unwanted parasites. It manages a versatile diet centered on jellyfish and soft-bodied organisms, rhythmically processing the biological vigor of the abyss. It possesses the most extraordinary reproductive capacity among vertebrates, releasing 300 million biological spheres in each cycle. As a keystone species, its work ensures that the dynamic balance of jellyfish populations remains in a healthy and pure state. The sunfish is the tranquil heartbeat of the deep blue, a gem of evolution floating with invincible elegance against time. In the radiant heart of tropical reefs, a resident of incomparable aesthetics emerges that dominates the coral stratum. The clownfish, belonging to the subfamily Amphiprioninae, is the undisputed sovereign of color in the Pacific Ocean sanctuary. Its appearance stands out for a rhythmic pattern of vibrant orange, decorated with 3 white stripes of great visual authority. An adult individual reaches a length of between 10 and 18 centimeters, maintaining superior tactical agility in confined spaces. The true sovereignty of this majestic inhabitant resides in a sacred pact of symbiosis with sea anemones. it possesses a unique biographical advantage, a layer of specialized mucus that covers its cutaneous architecture absolutely. This chemical armor prevents the anemone's defensive cells from activating, recognizing the fish as part of its own structure. While other inhabitants neutralize their vigor before the energy-charged tentacles, the clownfish navigates among them with total impunity. This biological connection grants it an impenetrable refuge against the great strategists of the abyss that patrol the radiant environment. In exchange for protection, the majestic inhabitant acts as the guardian of its protector, rhythmically warding off intruders from the garden. Its cleaning work ensures that organic remains are eliminated, preserving the biological health and purity of the anemone. The constant movement of its fins rhythmically oxygenates the host's tentacles, strengthening its vigor in the coral ecosystem. However, its tactical radius of action is limited, depending entirely on the location of its thermal and mineral sanctuary. This absolute biographical dependence makes it vulnerable to any rhythmic transformation that affects the biological integrity of its home. If the anemone loses its vigor due to the rise in Celsius degrees, the clownfish faces a sovereign challenge for its permanence. The social structure of the clan is fascinating and strict, governed by a hierarchy where the female of greatest mass exercises authority. A wonder of their evolution is sequential hermaphroditism, allowing the dominant male to assume the radiant throne if the matriarch disappears. It manages a versatile diet by processing small crustaceans and radiant algae, maintaining its biological balance under the sovereign light of the sun. As a keystone species, its presence indicates the health of the reef, being the rhythmic heartbeat that animates the architecture of marine life. The clownfish is the testimony of biological harmony, a gem of nature reigning with elegance in the heart of the water. In the radiant vastness of the ocean, an ancestral inhabitant emerges that has rhythmically navigated the abysses for 500 million years. The jellyfish, belonging to the phylum Cnidaria, is the absolute sovereign of biological simplicity and translucent elegance in the blue sanctuary. Its biographical architecture is a prodigy of nature, possessing a body that is rhythmically composed of 95% pure water. It lacks a mineral bone structure, brain or heart, rhythmically entrusting its existence to the dance of sovereign marine currents. Its biographical advantage resides in cnidocytes, specialized cells that function as precision tools to project long-range chemical energy. It deploys majestic tentacles that can reach a length of 30 meters, creating a sensory network of great technical authority in the abyss. Each filament houses millions of microscopic darts that rhythmically neutralize the vigor of any inhabitant that enters its tactical radius of action. It moves by rhythmic contractions of its gelatinous bell, generating a thrust force of 1 Newton to navigate the liquid element. This radiant strategist rhythmically manages the flow of nutrients, processing everything from microscopic plankton to small inhabitants of the pure current. Upon locating a source of biographical energy, its chemical tools rhythmically initiate the vital exchange to ensure the permanence of its invincible lineage. It withstands extreme thermal variations, maintaining its internal stability in waters that rhythmically oscillate between 5 and 30 degrees Celsius. As an essential regulator of the ecosystem, its work ensures that the dynamic balance of marine populations remains in a state of superior health. The jellyfish is the living testimony of eternal resilience, a gem of evolution breathing with an invincible elegance against the passage of time. Its radiant presence in every corner of the ocean ensures that the biographical symphony of the deep blue continues to flow with rhythmic and pure authority. Preserving the sovereignty of its aquatic sanctuaries is safeguarding one of the oldest and most extraordinary legacies that breathes in wild nature. In the deepest mineral stratum of the ocean, where silence rules the environment, the great purifier of the seabed advances rhythmically. The sea cucumber, known scientifically as Holothuroidea, is the undisputed sovereign of cleaning and regeneration in the abyss. Its elongated physiognomy and leathery skin form a biological architecture designed to withstand the extreme pressures of the aquatic sanctuary. A mature specimen can reach a length of 2 meters and possess a biographical mass of 2 kilograms of functional energy. It acts as a high-resolution biological vacuum cleaner, consuming the mineral substrate to process the organic matter that rests at the bottom. It uses its oral tentacles to capture sediments and plankton, filtering the vital essence with superior technical efficiency. After this nutritional exchange, it expels pure sand, rhythmically returning essential elements to maintain the vigor of submarine flora. Before the proximity of a curious strategist, it deploys a defense maneuver by throwing sticky filaments to neutralize any unwanted interaction. If the environment's pressure increases, it is capable of releasing parts of its internal system, a tactical distraction that ensures its sovereign retreat. As a keystone species, its incessant work prevents the saturation of remains, guaranteeing that the marine ecosystem breathes with total purity. The sea cucumber is the architect of mineral balance, a gem of evolution ruling order in the dark vastness. Honoring its presence is recognizing that biological greatness also resides in those who care for the foundations of our blue planet. By rhythmically navigating from the sunlit coast to the deepest abyss, an absolute law emerges that governs every atom of the ocean. In this liquid sanctuary, biographical existence is reduced to two sovereign missions: locating energy and avoiding being processed by the environment. Legions of small fish form radiant clouds of millions of individuals, a saturation tactic to confuse the observer's senses. Other inhabitants rhythmically master the art of invisibility, blending their body architecture with the mineral substrate to disappear from the radar. Great strategists deploy their muscular power, their explosive acceleration, or their superior intelligence to rhythmically ensure biological success. Through a radiant day beneath the waves, thousands of technical encounters rhythmically define the fate of every inhabitant of the deep blue. Silent approaches and rhythmic siege maneuvers follow one another rhythmically in every corner of the aquatic and mineral sanctuary. Life is maintained thanks to a dynamic and fragile equilibrium, where the rhythmic exchange of vigor is the currency of survival biography. Every second represents a dance of perseverance, where rhythmic flight neutralizes the biographical intent of the most sophisticated hunter of the abyss. This incessant biological siege is the thermal motor that has driven the radiant diversification of species during millions of years of history. Millennial competition has sculpted extraordinary anatomies that rhythmically inhabit everything from radiant coral to the darkest and purest trenches. The result of this constant struggle is the amazing biodiversity that today breathes under the radiant sovereignty of the global oceanic horizon. The ocean is the great stage of adaptation, a living monument to the invincible power of life in the face of the challenges of time. While the sovereign sun rhythmically sinks below the liquid horizon, the ocean does not surrender to biological lethargy. A new rhythmic cycle is activated, a dance of vitality that has endured for hundreds of millions of years in the blue sanctuary. Every inhabitant, from microscopic plankton to the 100,000 kilogram titans, is a vital link in the global survival network. Trillions of descendants emerge rhythmically each season, starting a large-scale race toward radiant and vigorous maturity. Natural selection acts as a sovereign filter, allowing only the most resilient individuals to ensure the permanence of their lineage. Those who reach adult vigor rhythmically continue the legacy of migration and the renewal of pure life. The end of a radiant life cycle is not a void, but the transformation of organic energy toward the deep and dark abyss. Marine snow descends rhythmically toward the mineral bed, becoming the nutritional treasure that feeds thousands of invisible forms. Oceanic currents function as massive biological arteries, rhythmically transporting vigor across thousands of kilometers of distance. They rhythmically join the architecture of the reefs with the seagrass meadows, creating an absolute and sovereign biological harmony. The pulse of the open sea flows toward the frigid sanctuaries of the poles, integrating each ecosystem into a unified and pure system. No biological lineage inhabits rhythmically in total independence, for the health of one guarantees the permanence of the radiant totality. The existence of each inhabitant is a rhythmic contribution to the dynamic equilibrium that breathes under the sovereign sun and the blue horizon. This motor of life has functioned without rhythmic interruptions since the first biological pulse emerged on planet Earth and its abyss. The symphony of the abyss is a testament that unity is the most powerful and eternal law of wild and pure nature. The rhythmic resilience of the oceans ensures that the cycle of organic matter continues renewing the sovereign elegance of the biosphere. Every radiant biological encounter is a technical piece of the invincible mosaic that sustains the vitality of our liquid and mineral home. Protecting the sovereignty of this constant flow is ensuring that the song of the deep blue continues to resonate rhythmically throughout eternity. From plankton to giant, life flows with a radiant elegance, proving that greatness lies in the absolute connection of the sanctuary. The ocean is the rhythmic heart of the world, a living monument to the biographical invincibility of pure, radiant, and sovereign nature. After rhythmically navigating through the coral sanctuaries, the abyss, and the poles, a sovereign and absolute biological truth emerges. The ocean is not a collection of isolated fragments, but a single rhythmic organism that unites every corner of planet Earth. Marine currents function as large-scale arteries, transporting biographical vitality from the equator to the Arctic crystal. Every coral architecture and every seagrass meadow depends rhythmically on the purity of the waters that flow from thousands of kilometers away. Interdependence is the absolute law of the abyss, where the vigor of the great cetaceans is rhythmically linked to the health of microscopic plankton. However, this dynamic equilibrium rhythmically faces the siege of climatic transformation and the rise of Celsius degrees. Synthetic residue and microplastic rhythmically saturate the internal systems of the blue sanctuary's purest inhabitants. The acidification of the currents weakens the mineral architecture of the reefs, compromising the stability of the entire survival network. Excessive extraction of biological resources rhythmically drains the vital energy that the ocean requires for its own biological regeneration. Protecting the deep blue does not only consist of safeguarding sovereign lineages like the dolphin or the 30-meter whale. It means rhythmically guarding the integrity of the biological corridors that feed the thermal and biographical pulse of our home. The ocean is the radiant motor that regulates the mineral atmosphere and the purity of the air that sustains every heartbeat of terrestrial life. Every square meter of preserved marine surface is a victory for biodiversity and the permanence of future lineages under the sun. We must recognize the rhythmic sovereignty of nature, respecting the limits of its liquid architecture against the pressure of modernity. The ocean is the testament of absolute unity, a monument of movement and invincible elegance that breathes for all biological eternity. Subscribe to the channel in addition to sharing this video to carry this message of respect far. Every gesture helps protect nature's wonderful creation.